Hey, pioneers of the Daisy community. This is Avinash, part of the Daisy crowdfund community as you, coming to you with a message regarding the delay of the launch. It seems there's a lot of people who do not understand what is happening. They feel lost. So I thought I should come out and make a video statement, a message, just to give you guidance so that you can share with your teams. Well, before we go into that, I want to share something with you. I want to talk to you about any launch. You know, it actually reminds me of a rocket launch. You know, when someone is watching a rocket launch from far, all they can see is there's this smoke coming up before the launch even happened. And guess what? The people who don't realize that the launch of certain things it becomes part of history, which is what we're about. We're about to become part of history with the launch of Daisy. But here's what happened. For the people who are not mentally prepared, who don't really know what's happening, who's watching from far, they think it's a fire. They think there's a fire, there's a smoke coming. That means for them, there's a fire and they run away from it. And whilst others who are part of this group that's about to make history, they get more and more excited. So before we even talk about it, I want to share with you that little delay is the smoke that you see before some of the biggest launch in history. And I'm talking launch of anything, not just in network marketing history, in history, period. Now, as you all know, we had to pre-place a few leaders. The reason for that is so that links are available simultaneously to multiple people, but also so that we can use live data of those leaders to go and upgrade and purchase their packs. So it's also the final test to make sure when you come in to register, it's every single aspect of it, including a live full testing, is being done using us, the leaders. Many of you have been looking at it, feeling negative. Why is it delayed? I mean, really, it's the first time I'm seeing people who can't wait to use their money and spend their money, get rid of their money, bid for a great cause in our crowdfunding project. Any project would love to take your money ASAP, but I love the fact that the co-creators, the creators of Daisy are making sure everything is tip-top. And here's what happened. Here's what happened. For those leaders that were getting pre-placed, maybe it's our fault as leaders, we take responsibility. We didn't make it clear enough that they had to use a certain wallets. I know we did. We said, Clever, download the Clever app, but we also said they could use the Tron wallet. And here's what happened. For some people, because they're knowledgeable in crypto, for some people, because they don't know anything about crypto. They look at it saying, oh, I can submit my Tron wallet address is different to the Tron wallet address. And they went to their Binance, they went to their, different exchanges, they submitted their wallet address, and the script would not work. Now, many of you came and said, why don't we just take them out and run the script? It's their fault. Well, I believe in second chances. But here's something more important. What if that person could be just about above you, or could be putting someone that drops into your matrix that could be overspilling thousands and thousands of people in your matrix? Do you really want that person to be out? So I believe they've taken the right decision. They've contacted us, all leaders, and for us to go back and verify every single wallet address that's been submitted and resubmit those in the next few hours. So please bear with us. You will get further communication soon. The one thing that delays the most is hundreds, if not thousands of people messaging each of the leaders asking for an update every hour or every 2 hours, every 4 hours. We're not going anywhere. We're not going anywhere. No one has a link yet. And be assured, for those that, I can only speak to myself, for those that you've been told you will get the link at a set time, you will get the link in that same time, in that same order. We're not going anywhere. We're just making sure that you become part of a kind of history that's going to be remembered for decades. So all we ask is just bear with us. There will be communication, because we don't want to give you a communication of a set time when we can't give you a set time, right? We just want to complete and conclude the spreadsheets of all the wallet addresses, run the script and say, yes, the wallet addresses all have been accepted. And then we will come out with an official communication, which we will await from the creators of Daisy. I will leave you with this. You know, being pioneers in history-making events is not easy. It reminds me of someone. And it reminds me of Mr. Wayne. I don't know how many of you may or may not be familiar with this gentleman. Mr. Wayne, I don't know if you know, used to own 10% of Apple shares. 10% of Apple shares, yeah? Mr. Ronald Wayne used to own 10% of Apple shares. You know what Apple shares is worth now. I mean, Apple market capitalization exceeded $1 trillion 2 years ago. There was someone who owned 10%. In the first 2 weeks of setting up Apple, Mr. Ronald Wayne sold his 10% shares. Here's why. There were certain challenges happening, and he could see certain challenges happening in the near future, and he wasn't prepared to go through those. He wasn't prepared to go through these hardships. And what he did, he sold his shares 10%. Had it held on to those 10% shares, today he'll be a multi-billionaire. He sold his 10% Apple shares for $800. I saw a couple of messages, someone saying to me, hey, you know what? I'm worried some of my people might change their mind. That's great. That allows places for people who are the real pioneers, who are the real visionaries, because someone who knows the value of what we're about to be part of would make this time to increase and build even stronger. Mr. Wayne sold his 10% Apple shares for $800. $800. So my question is, what's your position, your timing in Daisy worth to you? Is it worth giving it up? Just because you're standing from far and just watching the smoke thinking it's a fire? Or are you someone who has understood that we're about to make history, and you're standing close to that smoke because you know you're going to be part of history as this rocket launches, be it delayed by a day or two? It doesn't matter. But we will give you the information. Just please make sure you're not constantly reaching out to the people, to the person who's about to sponsor you, asking for info, update. If you're not hearing from us, it's because there's no update yet. There's no new update yet. Just rest assured that everything's on track. We've been told that we're ready to launch right now. We were ready yesterday. It was just the wallet addresses. And because of different time zones, I mean, I had someone who we had to wait for them to wake up in Asia to be able to communicate with them. And guess what? When they were awake, some of their teams in Europe were not awake. So we're having to verify every single wallet address. But I believe from communication I've had with other leaders that 70-80% is completed as a general, not just my team. My 70% was done early, and we will update you very soon. Just hold tight, put in the work, use the time to grow your team. Have you qualified for the pool? Number one, have you qualified for pool number two? If not, go and make that time. Those of you who are planning on staying awake, no, you can go to bed, because we will give people ample time before we say, okay, we're going to start registration or pre-registrations upgrades, and we will give you ample time to say when the links will be distributed. Many hours before, we will let you know. So with that said, we hope you understand. Just go and put in the work, because this project is going to be the biggest project we've ever seen in this space. So we thank you very much for hearing this message. Please convey this message to your team. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel for any further updates that we will keep posting here, and other videos and materials that you will need. And make sure, so that we don't have this same problem in the future, just make sure that you have given the link to the clever video that is on this channel, because it takes you from A to Z, from which app it is, how to download it, the security, how to keep it totally secure, because we had someone who contacted me, very sad story. I'm not going to go into details, that someone was able to get into their wallet, and it shows them on the day when we launch, when they have a link, where they need to go and what they need to do. So look forward to having the greatest of launch in this industry ever together with you. Thank you very much.